Uh, 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 to the Sammy's a Beer podcast. I apologize. Apparently, OBS did something different, and it's not recognizing my sound.
Oh, rip. I'll take it from here then. Welcome back, everybody, to the Sammy's a Beer podcast. I am your host today, Thomas. Followed us. Joining us is Matt. We can hear him just fine on this end, so we all know what's going on. But for some reason, I'm dropping a ton of frames again. It only happens when I'm streaming. Don't know what's going on. Gonna have to fix that later. I'm sure it's fine. It's probably not. It's dropping a ton of frames. Enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I mean, maybe all right. Anyways, we're drinking shots. I have some stuff I wanted to talk to Matt about. As you guys know, we're two really big nerds. Matt is actually probably Dungeons and Dragons #1 fan. I've never met a man more dedicated to playing Dungeons and Dragons before, so we're going to be talking about that.
Yep. Okay, I got it back. For some reason, it discontinued. It disconnected my microphone and my headset as my main audio sources.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't picking up any of it.
Mine's done that when I did the big update for it. I did that.
I just did a driver update, but
This podcast is also sponsored by Circle. Get the water bottle. It's delicious.
should have gone with the metal one.
I'm an idiot
Plastic.
by buying the bottles to begin with. They have a Yeti adapter for $12 on Amazon. I have 6 Yetis and just screw it on there. But if you get the chance, just different types of Yetis. I don't know. I think they'll have the same lip size, no matter the size of the cup. The lip is the same, just like the plastic Yeti. So
the lips aren't for different races. Then they're all the same size.
yeah, damn right. Get the Flight Blue Raspberry. Tastes exactly like a Blue Icy. I have not been able to stop drinking it. On a caveat to that, I have not been able to stop peeing. So, but it's been a good time. We are going to talk about some nerd stuff today. That's what I want to talk about, at least. I have some good
Nerd stuff?
I have some good insights. But first,
Okay.
the shots.
Well, before we do that, I want to show. This is Crown Lemonade Black Cherry. Black raspberry? Interesting.
It's something.
Kind of like how they do the high noons and, with the vodka.
My girlfriend
This
does.
is just with whiskey.
My girlfriend does love a good high noon. They came out with a new limeade high noon too, so got to get that for her. I'm still drinking Tastes Like Chicken, so
I'm still on Buffalo Trace. I got a lot to go, so I'm not going to...
you should do half of it right now.
I only do 1 or 2 shots a week, so
No, you should do half today. 7 shots minimum.
half a bottle.
Yeah,
Hard pass.
it'll be fine.
How did you re-hurt your knee? Well, I got super drunk and
It's possible.
decided to jump on my trampoline.
I could see you doing that. Unfortunately. My shot today, if you don't mind. I'm just gonna press through.
Yeah, no.
My
Go right
shot.
ahead.
My shot today is to all the paramedics who have left my job. I hate you for leaving me, but I love that you've all found such good opportunities elsewhere. So while I'm mad, I can't be that mad. Here's to you. Go fuck yourself.
Mine's going to be a happy shot today. My shot is to probably one of the best things ever invented that I really, really miss for myself. And I'm sure, you might miss it, but you kind of still get it.
Blowjobs?
For a giant child.
Christmas presents?
Nope. Summer vacation.
I don't get
Tomorrow's my
those.
children's last day of school.
Mm.
Yeah, but you work so little sometimes. You've been on a 6-month bender where you worked straight. But for 6 months before that,
They didn't work at all.
So, summer vacation, I think, is probably the coolest thing ever. I think they should be more than just for children. I think adults should get summer vacation as well.
I think they do in France.
Oh, fuck the French, but
Well, yeah.
cheers to summer vacation.
God
Go
bless
enjoy
you.
it, you fuckers.
Lucky sons of bitches. Yeah. I agree. I do have some really fond memories of summer vacation.
I don't even think it wouldn't even have to be in the summer, because obviously everybody can't be off. But, you know,
Yeah, no, I get what you're getting at. Although that would suck to be the
month.
guy whose month off is in the middle of winter and he lives in like a
I wouldn't.
snow barren wasteland.
I'd fucking love it. I'd still love it. A month of no work.
That would be kind of nice. You get that in the military though. Just how you
I mean,
accrue leave.
Technically, I've got almost that many hours saved up. I just can't take them consecutively.
That's true. World still got to go on. I get it. I'm a little tired. Sorry.
I'm too much nothing today.
Yeah, I mean, I did clean the house, and then so I've been on a binge with gravies.
Yep.
So I made chicken gravy yesterday. The day before, I made beef gravy yesterday. Guess what kind of gravy I made today?
Mushroom gravy.
Mushroom gravy. It was delicious. It was the best of the three, 100%.
We had this conversation several times yesterday.
I was 2 sheets to the wind yesterday. That was definitely... You made me...
You were really bad at Overwatch too. Not Overwatch.
I was about to say, we didn't...
Overcooked.
I wasn't that drunk. Yeah,
You were
I'm...
really bad at Overcooked.
Yeah, no, you were bad. You didn't prep the vegetables correctly.
That's it.
Coming from the man who doesn't know the difference between Half Moons, Julienne, and Bruchets. Like, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, because that's what they did in that. That was the problem, is we didn't know the proper cutting styles.
Yeah, well, you need to know. No, it was actually really fun. I do want to play it with more people, though. That would be really fun. Get like a full party playing it. So, as you know, as I've said it a lot, I just don't think I've said it on the podcast yet. I'm going to be hosting a D&D session for my siblings Saturday, and I'm really excited for it. And
That could be really weird though.
what do you mean?
Well, as we know, a lot of people, when they get weird, especially in D&D, what's the weird thing that a lot of people go to in D&D?
Sex.
And like even your brother-in-law has already started with weird sex things.
He
Like,
did. He did start.
He said he wants a dragon dick that he can fight people with.
He did do that. That was the thing.
This is before anybody's even started drinking.
That's true. Which my
And
sister.
these are your siblings.
That's fine. I think I might have a different relationship with my siblings than you do with yours.
I don't know.
So, my sister, first of all, we're doing a D&D style feast, rotisserie chicken, sausage, potatoes, stuff like that, right? Very tavern-esque stew kind of meal while we're playing. And then she has come up with health and magic potions, which are little potions in potion bottles that are shots. And you can take them to recover spell slots and health. So I'm going to make the campaign harder so they have to take them to win. And it's going to be fucking great.
But there is no winning in D&D.
That is correct. To get the objective done without everyone dying.
Never split up the party.
Never split up the party. They actually did pretty good on their creations. We got a warlock, cleric, barbarian, ranger. Yeah, they didn't do too bad.
Didn't you say you made 2 of them?
Well, they gave me because they don't know how to make characters yet, right? Like, they haven't read the rules, they don't know how it works. So they gave me a character backstory, how they want to fight, and all of these things. So I made a character, picked the class based off of their parameters. My sister wanted a very warlock-esque character, so I made her a warlock with lots of illusionary tricks.
That's a witch.
That's
a girl.
essentially, it's a witch. That's what I made. And Jay, anyways,
Siblings.
yeah, he wouldn't.
How do you know?
I've
Quit
asked.
being so judgmental.
I've asked him. He said no.
Did you tell him that everybody else was?
No.
Well, that can be the deal breaker.
I think his wife would have a good time. I'm just trying to get everyone into it slowly. Junior Carlos,
Yeah, 'cause
Junior
his wife
Miranda,
really likes
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Junior actually wants to do a sci-fi Jedi style campaign, which if we do end up doing that, I'm probably going to do it over Discord, so some of the boys can come jump on, like you and Gabe and Kay, if you guys want to. How did you like playing D&D when you first started? Because we started together. I have the exact same amount of experience playing D&D as you do.
I liked it. It's definitely fun, but like I don't know, I didn't like some of the weird stuff with it.
And that depends on who you play with, too.
Yeah. Like I enjoy like the acting or role playing aspect of it. Because like at first I thought the fighting would be really cool, but the fighting is actually really fucking boring.
It's not great, no. Especially if someone's not paying attention, and then the turn comes up, and then now they need extra time to decide what they're going to do.
Well, but that and like with most characters, I mean, you're not pulling out this crazy, I'm gonna summon a hole underneath them with my, this spell or anything like that. It's like, oh, I'm gonna shoot fireball.
See, but the thing is that you could have done that. Just no one did. No one asked. No one tried. You know what I mean? Whenever someone tried to do something cool, I always let it happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, we did. I mean, Marduk, ripped.
That just stuck with you. That just forever. That is what you associate D&D with. Just
what?
Marduk tearing apart a werebear and wearing his carcass as a cloak.
Yeah,
it's just
a big moment.
That was a one-time action that had like no repercussions further on down in the campaign, and was just really fucking cool in the moment.
Yeah, fun to do.
I mean, all right. I'm just curious because I don't know how they're gonna react. I think Junior and Jack might build off each other and become idiots about it, and then my sister might take it too seriously.
Yeah, we had a couple that definitely built off of each other and became idiots about things.
Yeah, it happens.
A couple, 3, 4.
Most of them. Which it's just fine being an idiot, right? Be goofy with it. That's totally acceptable. But
I don't know. There's a difference between being an idiot and like playing an idiot character.
You had to play Sue. I remember that.
Yeah. But like I can't say that people really stayed in character always.
No.
Like that was one thing, like if we were gonna, like, I wish that you almost need people who take it more seriously for that aspect.
So what I found is Egg is really good about going back into character. She'll make jokes and stuff out of character, right, and use her real voice, but she always does an accent or a voice, and that helps her stay in character when it's time to be in character.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. You're right. There are some people who just take it more seriously. I take it very seriously, but it's a really big hobby of mine that I really enjoy. Which I'm going to set an alarm for an hour from now so I can remember to order my battle maps before it gets too late.
Order your battle maps.
We're gonna. I found on Amazon a discounted book of battle maps and figurines and dice and
Nice.
yeah. But yeah, for me it's a really fun hobby, and it's one I'm gonna get into a little more, I think, personally, because technically it's free.
Kind of.
Everything online is there and it's free. It's easier if you pay for it. There's more stuff and you can go more in depth and you can put a lot of money into it, but as a hobby it's free. Mm-hmm. And I kind of want a hobby where I can just spend time and do that kind of stuff with. So I'm excited. I like it. I'm in 3 campaigns right now. I'm doing the one that I'm starting with my siblings. I have one with just Egg, James, and another person, where we run a tavern, which he did a crazy weird thing about that. Like, we're rarely in combat, but we're actually running a tavern, so we have to like roll for certain skill checks for every hour that we're running the kitchen, and that dictates how well we do that night if we can pay our bills. He spent days on it. It's very in depth, and it's really cool. But it just goes to show that like you can play D&D about fucking anything.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just a matter of how you set up the parameters and what you. Yeah.
I was really excited about the zombie campaign, but I didn't know how to write it with the rules that were there. Like I just didn't. I want to be able to. It just couldn't. So I don't know. And
takes a lot of effort to do something like that.
And I liked Egg's campaign. I liked the ideas of it, but there was just a lot that was thrown at us at one time, and it was hard for me to keep up.
I didn't want to be in a school.
Yeah. I mean, we rarely were, but
yeah. But then there was like principals and yeah, like keeping up with all the different people, because she threw a lot of like lore in.
Yes.
That I don't have any idea about, and people were talking about different, like, oh, do you know who that is? And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck that is.
Nor did my character care.
Yeah.
But when she was good, she was great. Like how she tortured my character for days, and he came back a little fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all the extra stuff I can't keep up. I just don't have the attention span for it, personally. And that's okay. And also, D&D can be kid friendly.
Well, that's where I kind of like the role playing aspect of it. Is because you can just go into a character, and you don't have to necessarily worry about the rules. So I mean, it's almost like an improv type thing.
It is. I mean, a lot of it is. At least it can be.
So, I just saw this sitting on my desk. Not to jump, but not to segue. But you brought up Jedi as well. My wife has gotten me, for my 40th birthday, my wife is doing 40 gifts.
Yeah.
One of them is she bought me this.
That's pretty cool.
This is a calendar for the Return of the Jedi from the year I was born.
That's really cool.
I thought it was. Like, and I'm not normally a collector. But, like, look how old that picture is.
That's fucking cool, though.
I thought it was, too. Fucking Jabba the Hutt.
Let's also... Your wife is very sweet and thoughtful when it comes to you. When it comes to anyone, actually. Damn. That's a Jedi holding a blaster. Rebuilding the Death Star.
Well, that's just a page. That's a whole...
But it's cool. And like some kid in the 80s had the exact same fucking poster.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't born yet, but,
So, yeah. I just saw it sitting there and I wanted to bring it up. Sorry.
No, I appreciate it. I've just been very... It was a hobby I didn't think I was going to get into.
Yeah. Well, and it's... The hard part with it is it's not a hobby you can do by yourself.
Correct.
You have to be with people. You have to be able to spend the time to do it. And that can be a very big deterrent for a lot of people. Because they don't have 3-4 hours to be able to go sit and do something like that once a week or,
Or they don't... like, say you go to a game shop. A lot of the guys that run those campaigns, they're dicks. Like, I don't know if you've ever even... I thought about it. I wouldn't, because they're just... I don't know, pretentious? Gatekeeping? I don't know. There's a word for it, I'm sure, but it's rough. Like, they'll make fun of you if you don't know, like, oh, this rule off the top of your head, or doing this off the top of your head, or, Rangers suck, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm just playing the game, man. I'm just having fun. with anything.
Yeah.
But it's bad. The kind of people that do it, you almost have to do it with a group of friends that you actually like. And then not a lot of people have a group of friends that can meet up like that consistently.
Well, yeah, especially if you've got families and stuff. Like, good luck.
Imagine if we tried to play in person. Like if I lived there and we all tried to play in person. That would be almost impossible.
It'd be pretty hard.
Just because, like, even when we played digitally, it was only a couple hours, once a week, and you could go to bed right after. Right? Like, no driving, no worrying about drinking and driving, none of that. You just logged on, went to bed. It was nice.
Well, and we accommodated my schedule, but, I waited till my kids went to bed, because otherwise, like, if we were doing it now, they would want to be in here, like, seeing it. I mean, they even ask me if they can come watch the podcast every time we do it.
Yeah.
And not that I have an issue with them watching the podcast, but I have an issue with them watching the podcast, and I don't need distractions as well.
That too. Yeah. It's tough. And you don't want to keep your kids away from something that you're having fun playing because you want to, introduce them to it, but introduce them in a way that's a little more indicative of age appropriation and, things like that. I mean, shit, we played a D&D campaign with your kids. It was fun as fuck. Yeah. It was super fun.
It was interesting.
I mean, the main objective was to have Jackson be the hero of the story.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't want to make it too like crazy, too much killing, too much, all of this nonsense. He had to solve a puzzle, and he did it in a very unique way that I did not see coming. Did I play up my reactions? Absolutely, but it made him feel fucking.
There's a business idea for you.
D&D for kids.
You can be a D&D master and go to people's houses and do like parties for their kids and stuff.
So I've seen Reddit horror stories about that because you get into that mixed age range of like 10 to 13. And the horror stories are related to like the boys only wanting to talk about sex, tits, and that's it.
Yeah, but you can put an end to it. I mean, you gotta have your rules.
It's true. That is true.
I mean, it's such an interesting. It's a slippery slope that you have to work with kids with stuff like that. Like, and if you allow a little bit, then it's give them an inch, they take a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Versus if you shut it down right away, you can move on amicably and be fine. But yeah, especially with teenage boys.
I mean, I can't blame them.
No, but that's where, like I said, but at the exact same time, with most of them, if you say, "Hey, nope, we're not allowed to do that. We're not going down this road, and if we do, we're ending the game."
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I'll tell your mom. It's not a bad idea. It would be fun. I do like DMing, and there are professional DMs out there that you can just hire, and they charge a lot.
Yeah, and I bet they keep busy too.
Yeah, we thought about getting one, me and Daniel, to like do a couple sessions so we could all play, and not someone have to DM, and it was like $50 an hour, and you had to book out 3 months in advance.
Yeah,
something crazy like that. I don't know.
It makes sense.
It's kind of cool. It's a hobby I'm really happy and excited that I got into. It's just a lot more work than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's a ton of work.
It kind of is. Or it's kind of not. Depends.
You still have to put work in. I mean, like I spent a lot of time figuring out like backstories and doing all that stuff with my characters.
I felt so bad that I really didn't flesh yours out as much as I wanted to, too.
Nope, you just murdered him and moved on.
No. I tied it into his backstory. It worked. It worked. I tied it in, and I was going to bring him back from the dead, but then I got a job, so...
Yeah. Welcome to adulthood, my friend.
It sucks.
It does.
I got pre-approved for a house,
That's good.
I guess. I just want us to go to war so I can go not worry about anything.
Well, you still have stuff to worry about. You're just choosing not to.
It's just different.
Like,
It's like,
especially if you buy a house. Like,
I wish I didn't have to buy right now.
you don't have to.
They won't take her. No one renting will take her dog. Can't leave the dog behind, so buying it is.
Oh. It's such sound, logical advice or thoughts,
Would you leave your dogs behind?
I own a house.
Exactly. So I got to do the same thing.
Do you want to know what I didn't have before I had a house?
What?
Dogs. That I had to take with me.
I guess that's fair.
I rented apartments.
I did.
And have my dogs with me.
I've done that before, and I've definitely not paid pet deposits. There's not been a moment in my life between the ages of 10 and now where I have not owned a cat.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you say, like, that you don't like cats, I know you're allergic and you can't have cats, but the fact that you still also don't like them blows my mind. I think they're the fucking funniest little creatures on the planet.
Sure.
Mr. Kitty killed a scorpion today, so... Alright, Matt. Oh, shit.
What's up?
You just won the lottery. You get $1 million every year for the rest of your life. Just
Okay.
deposited. So you never have to worry about surviving, right? Survival is now out the door. Your kids can go do whatever they want to do. You and the missus can do whatever you want to do. Right?
Uh-huh.
Granted, you don't have like complete monetary immunity. You can't just go buy $3-4 million cars, driving them around like a crazy person. You still have to be kind of frugal about what you do, just not as much. What do you do with your life now that you don't have to work? Do you keep working?
Not at my job.
No, but what do you do? Where do you go? Not the first thing. Like, what's your long-term plan?
Well, first, if that was the case, if I could quit working, I would probably take over and start teaching my kids. I'd be their full-time teacher.
Okay, so like a homeschool kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I assume keeping them in sports.
Oh yeah, I think sports are good for them.
Duh. Well, you got to socialize the kids, or they're gonna turn out weird.
Yeah, they're not like you,
Yeah, super weird.
wanting to fucking play D&D all the time.
And you liked it, you son of a bitch. I don't want to hear it. Hey, look, you give me as much shit as you do, but you're the only person that I could text, hey, I really want to try this game, can you try it with me? And you'll sink like 30-40 hours into just a random game with me.
If it's good. If
Well,
it's not,
we don't know if it's good. That's the thing.
but like, there's some games that we've played like one night, and it's like, yeah, we're not going back to that.
Like Humanity,
Yeah.
which maybe we will.
How about, what was it? Sons of the Forest.
That was so. The Forest was great. Sons of the Forest just was not, and I don't know why.
Yeah, like I spent like $50 or $60 on that game.
40.
And we played it once.
I mean, I'll play it
40?
again. It was 40. I'll play it again. But
I have no interest in playing it again.
that's my
I think
thing.
It was like a good game.
But we've had more winners than we have losers at this point.
Yeah.
I think we've hit our average, but yeah. I mean, we've had some sinkers. And then we've had ones that come out of the woodwork that we didn't think we'd play at all, like the fucking Ranch Simulator. We played it for
That's
like
a great game.
3 weeks straight. It got another update.
It's a good game.
That's a really good game. But that's just gaming. And even a game that I adore, you don't really like.
Is it Guild Wars?
No. Helldivers.
I've never said that I don't really like Helldivers.
You said it several times.
I said that Helldivers has just gotten old because it's the same things over and over again.
And it is.
The issue that I have with a lot of different games, like, is they're the same missions on the same planets on, just slight variations or making it more and more difficult. And that's the issue that I have with a lot of games.
Which, I mean, but on the same caveat, we've played Call of Duty for like 2 years straight.
But Call of Duty is a multiplayer game, so each time is different.
Okay.
Like, it's the same objective, but they're different fights, they're different hit shots, different guns, different... I mean, there's so much that's different with it in every single round.
Which I have an issue with Overwatch because I'm tired of the game itself for the same reason you're tired of Helldivers.
Yeah, guess what we don't play?
Yeah, that's true. It's downloaded. I haven't had the drive to get back into it.
And the big reason I wanted to get back or play some Overwatch is, there's a bigger group of us now. Or at least, there's 3 of us. So getting your brother in there, and then if you get 2 or 3 more people and you go in with a full squad, it could be more fun.
I know of 1 week in a month where we could actually have a full squad.
There you go.
Because of Captain Heck. And you know how much he loves Overwatch for whatever reason. He just dialed in on that shit.
Yeah.
I agree. I like playing team-based games when we have a full team. Like when we would play Call of Duty and we had a full team. That was always really fun.
Yeah. And I like the aspect of tanking, DPS, healing, like having assigned roles. Even if we found like a middle game, like a different game, like if Battlefield was good like that, where you had the different roles where you had to rely on each other, because you couldn't go out and just do it on your own. I like that aspect where you have your role, you go do your role, and somebody else does theirs.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you think that has something to do with the times that you played like World of Warcraft?
Maybe a little bit, but I like the team aspect of it, to where you have to rely on other people to do good things, and people have to rely on you. That was one thing I never liked about Call of Duty, is you could have one person that could be really good and carry you the whole fucking way.
Unless it was you carrying somebody, then it felt good. It felt good.
Even then, it was... I mean... I was never good enough to really carry people either, so...
You've done it a couple times. You definitely carried me. Especially when we first started. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I was never that good.
You were better than me. And then you weren't. That was humbling, I'm sure. I do want to find a good game for us to play, because and I love our survival base building crafting games. I love them to fucking death. Mm-hmm. What we did with Enshrouded, I will do every game always, where I built the base and did all the farming and the research and all. I will do that to the end of time. That was super fucking fun for me. But games like that are getting harder and harder to find. I do want to get more into VR. I think that would be really fun. There's a lot of really good VR FPS games that are like Escape from Tarkov, and I think that would be really cool for us to do, and for us to like get into it and keep us a little more active. Not super active, like we're not fucking running a mile, but we're getting up and moving and walking around and doing stuff. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, no, they're fun. You ever done like the boxing VR?
Yeah, I got fucking tired as shit doing that. Beat Saber tires me out.
Oh yeah,
just they're fun, and like I think it'd be cool to do that.
That's another reason when I was telling you about getting houses, you got to get 9-foot ceilings, because I'll hit my ceiling fans if I try to reach my hands over my head.
That's true.
So.
But yeah, I mean, I want to get into something, but you know, when we have the time, which is less and less nowadays, which is great for my drinking habits.
Yeah.
Not great for my mental health because I really do enjoy playing video games. It's nice to talk to my friends. Even right now, Gabe texted me. He was like, "Hey, can you jump on Helldivers?" I'm like, "No, got the podcast," and he'll be asleep by the time we get off. But we had a really good community, really good group for a while there, and then everyone just kind of got married, got new jobs, did their own things. Like, I feel kind of bad for someone like you, where not a lot has changed, and it seems like we're all just kind of falling off.
Yeah, that's such is life, buddy.
I'll never leave you. Don't worry. We've had family vacations together.
You're slowly starting to leave. You're not coming on vacation this year.
Don't get me started on that one. That's not my fault.
Oh, it 100% is. You are a grown adult that makes grown adult decisions.
It's true. I can't go without her. But
we definitely see who wears the pants in that relationship.
It's dependent on what the issue is.
What would you do with your dog?
My dog isn't on any. What do you mean?
Well, you said you can't rent because of her dog. What
Yes.
about your dog?
My dog is fine
Why is your dog fine?
because he's not on a restricted list.
How is her dog on a restricted list?
Because he's a pit bull.
Oh.
That's the issue. No one will rent to people who own pit bulls, huskies, German shepherds, and it's not even like really aggressive dogs. It's just very specific, and I don't know why.
Well, obviously there's a reason that they don't.
I guess the whole pit bull thing is dumb, in my opinion, and a lot of people think it's dumb.
Yeah, but a lot of people obviously thought it made sense because that's why it's like that.
I guess that's fair. Well, actually, you know what? Believe it or not, the only breed that I kind of agree with not renting is a fucking husky. I don't know if you've like raised a husky. They're little pieces of shit.
No.
They'll chew through. I've had a husky chew through a fucking front door before. They're little pieces of shit. So like I get it. But yeah, that's the reason. Because but even then, in San Antonio right now, getting a house to rent, the average rent is about $1,900 to $2,100 a month.
Yeah.
And we can afford it, right? As a dual income couple, I can afford it on my own. That's great. It's just insane to me. You know.
Mm-hmm.
When I was on my own in Nebraska, I didn't make fuck all for money. I was a fucking bartender, but I made enough to pay for the rent for a house. The rent was $1,100 a month. It wasn't a great house. It was a house.
It was in Nebraska as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too. Even then though, now it's rent's high in Nebraska, rent's high everywhere.
Not nearly as much as what it is in San Antonio, though.
It's really bad.
Oh.
It's really bad out here.
Like, but you guys are a major metropolitan area in a super warm area, like
In a place I can't leave.
yeah.
Because of Uncle Sam, like I cannot leave. Like, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll figure it out. We got a couple open houses on Saturday, so here's hoping.
But look at where you're at. Think about other people who are like where you're at, but they don't have their parents to live with.
Oh yeah. I mean,
You know.
what I've been really considering is there's a lot of cheap land, kind of past where my parents live. Right, they live outside the city. So the land itself, it's like 10 acres, 115,000. The acres aren't on water. You know, they're not good acres. They're not green, lush or whatever, but they're still acres, and double wides aren't that expensive.
Nope.
It would be
Nothing wrong with it. You can get a really fucking nice manufactured house.
hell yeah, you can. I've been looking at them on TikTok, and they look really nice. And that doesn't mean I have to live there forever.
Or you could build a barn dominium.
You cannot tell your builder, like your loan company, that you're building a barn dominium.
Says who?
Says TikTok. I read an article about it. People are having trouble getting loans for barn dominium specifically. They have to label it something else.
Okay.
But there's that
You're
part
just
of
getting a construction loan and then refinancing it into a mortgage. But
there's that part of me that really would rather just do that.
yeah,
Just go hunt the land, but then that makes me here forever.
no, it doesn't.
It does to my small lizard brain.
So put yourself. So think about it this way. You say it puts you there forever. So let's say you buy this land, put a house on it. Let's say 5 years from now, you're like, hey, I want to go to Arizona.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You think you'd have an issue renting out 10 acres with a double wide on it?
I guess not.
How many people do you think would want to do that?
I know a couple.
Or here's another idea. If you got 10 acres, put 4 double wides on it. And rent out 4 double wides with just a small lot and don't let them have any access to your land. Sell 9 acres and put 4 lots on quarter acres. Just saying.
It's definitely something to think about. It's, to me, and I know it is, it's not instant gratification, right? If I go and buy a house in the city, then I have a house instantly. I have all of this, like, right? Like, it's all there right away. But I know that I can build something better. I just have to give myself time to do so. And it's avoiding that instant gratification. You know, it's pushing it off and letting something better come, which I understand that something better can come of it. It still sucks that I have to wait.
Yeah. Welcome to adulthood.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what's
Why haven't you bought land, Matt?
Why haven't I bought land? I do. I own a house.
Why haven't you bought more land, Matt? Like land.
Why haven't I bought more land?
Yeah.
Have you seen the price of fucking land?
Yeah. It's really bad.
It's probably just as bad here as it is down there.
Oh, I believe it.
Like, especially because with how Republican the state of South Dakota is, but then 2, how low populated it is. We have been a popular, like the city that I live in averages growth between 3,000 to 5,000 people annually.
It's good.
That's a lot of fucking growth. And
Well-
we're a town of like 200,000.
That is a lot of growth. When I started dating Holly and when we started getting serious, she told me that she would follow me anywhere as long as it did not snow. If I could, I probably would go up to where you guys are. Not because of you, right? Like, just because I like that Midwestern cultural value and the way things are. It's different.
Tell her she can bring her dog. Bet she's be sold on the bed.
I really like Nebraska is the place for me. I loved it. Oh, I loved it so much.
Green Acres is the place to be.
It was so nice.
Farm living is the life for me.
And then she sent me an article because of all the tornadoes that had just happened this season. She's like, look at this. Look how crazy this is. And I'm like, we would have been on my back porch just like with a glass of whiskey watching them come in, right? Like,
Didn't Houston just get demolished?
4 people died.
Yeah. So, although I think quite a few more just died in Iowa, but
Oh, well, yeah. There's also that tornado that was like a F5 that killed nobody.
yeah. So the big thing, if you're gonna do that, you just can't live in a trailer park. Otherwise, you will be hunted by tornadoes.
Oh, 100%. That don't get me started. Yeah.
What?
Just deciding all these things and picking and choosing and trying to figure out where I'm going to go. I'm not used to that. I've never been permanent anywhere. This is the longest I've ever lived in one place in my entire life. I'm at 3 years.
You're still not being permanent, though.
I don't think I ever can be.
You don't have to be. Like, just because you buy a house doesn't mean you can't sell it.
I know. But for me, buying a house is a finality.
It's not.
It doesn't have to be, but it feels like it is. It's a lot of money.
The house that's going to make sense to you now is going to be very different than the house you're going to want in 10 years. The house that I live in now, this was the house that I thought made the most sense for us when we bought a house.
It's a nice house.
This house doesn't make any more sense to me. You've never been to my house. You don't know my
I've seen pictures and videos of your house.
My house isn't great. My house is a turd.
It's nicer than the house that I own.
Yeah.
You gonna trade?
Something's always better than nothing.
Yeah. And I have all these really good breaks with the VA, first-time home buyers. Like, there's so many fucking breaks that I get. So I had the pressures on to make the right decision the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But at this point, you've been talking about making this decision for how long? And you've been doing nothing.
6 months.
Now it's time to...
Yeah. Well, 3 months.
Off the pot.
Yeah, no,
I'm longer than that.
No, because I was about halfway through working at Goliad when we were like, okay, let's buy instead of rent. Like, let's do this, let's do that, let's look at this. And I honestly, if I find a good rental deal, right, like on it, if I find a really good deal, I'm gonna take it. And then she's just gonna have to. We're gonna have to figure something out with the dog. And she's aware of that. Hey, we got the DNA testing done. He's 25% poodle, so.
You did DNA testing for a dog?
So the PetSmart puppy, whatever. Have you seen that?
No.
It's like a deal when you get a puppy. You go to PetSmart. It's like $200. Pays for like all the vet visits for like 2 years, and on it comes a DNA test. And she did it when she got him, but she never did the DNA test, and it was still in the system. So she just got the DNA test. Which I don't know how accurate those things are. That motherfucker don't look nothing like no goddamn poodle.
I believe that it's been found that some of them even, like 23andMe, have like faked like actual people's.
Oh yeah.
So I can't imagine that, you know, the PetSmart ones are.
Except I am 6% black. That's canon. That's real.
Okay.
And the other 90.
I don't know what that means.
I did. So Junior did the 23andMe because I can't. As a military member, it's discouraged. I cannot do that.
Okay.
He did it, and we came back 6% black. A lot of Native American too.
That I can believe.
Obviously Spanish, but mostly Native American, Spanish, and black.
Maybe that's why you can't grow facial hair, Native American.
I think so, but look at him. That motherfucker can grow a beard out the ass, no problem. He just took all the facial hair.
Yeah.
I hope your sons can grow.
Don't they say it has to do with testosterone?
That plays a part, for sure.
Because I mean, I can't. We all know that.
And he's a lot more aggressive than I am, both growing up and currently. That's why he made a great cop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm in a place where I make good money. You know, finally. I've got 2 really good jobs. One of which, actually, I love both of them. I can't even lie to you. I love working EMS. It sucks sometimes. The hours suck. Being up at night sucks. But it's really fucking fun. It's really cool, right? But there's no money in it. Like, I can support her and myself currently on my paycheck, but add a kid in there, that's going to get a lot harder. You know, it just isn't going to be enough.
It's going to get harder no matter what you do.
True, but there are avenues that I can take that I'm currently qualified for that I can do instead, which won't make me happy, but they'll make me more money in a stable environment.
Or you can just start running D&D campaigns for small children.
That'll be my retirement job. I'm gonna dress as Santa and do it.
Fair enough.
Because I don't think I can ever stop working. I had the last 3 days off, and today I went fucking bananas. I could not sit still, like at all. I don't know how I used to do it. Actually, I do know how. I used to just drink a lot. Now that I'm not doing that.
I bet it would have been different had you had people there with you.
That too. I was by myself, going kind of nuts. So like, I spent an hour and a half at the grocery store. I bought onions. Like I didn't do anything fucking important. You know,
Yeah.
I cooked.
That's what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah, it's
Nothing
just
wrong
I got myself lunch while I was out. Like I felt like a fucking housewife, you know, playing this great and glorious meal, which it turned out amazing, by the way. But I couldn't. I don't think I can do it another day. Tomorrow, me and my old man are doing some stuff in the yard and making ourselves busy and making Phillies for lunch. So it'll be a good day. But I don't know. I need something. I need something that gets the blood pumping and pays well. And short of being a prostitute, I don't know what I qualify for at that point.
Yeah.
I thought about becoming a wildland firefighter because of that movie.
There you go. Being a hot shot.
Hell yeah!
I actually got a buddy of mine that I play volleyball with up here. He's a local firefighter. And then he's also certified. So like when there's wildland fires, he goes in, but he doesn't go in as a firefighter. He goes in as a medic and like helicopters in. So if a firefighter goes down, he's the medic that goes in and gets him.
Hell yeah. Flight medicine, my boy. That's that good shit. That's that fun stuff.
I don't know how he got into that.
You get your paramedic, and then you have to take your test, and you can only take it 3 times. That's it for your flight medic test. You can only take it 3 times. And then you have to get signed on with a company because you have to prove yourself first, and by that you have to do 3 years ER, 3 years ICU. It's a whole process.
He doesn't do any of that stuff.
He might have in the past.
He hasn't. I know him.
Well, I know 911s count for some of it, so maybe the company that signed him on counted 911s.
Yeah, he works in, I don't know. He works. Well, he works for this like the city the Sioux Falls Fire Department.
It very well.
They they send him out there.
Yeah, that very well might count, especially like you prove yourself, you take your test, because the test is the big one. It's
I guess I don't know.
It's a lot, and each state's different, you know.
Yeah, he does it quite. I know he's gone several times in the last few years.
Yeah, and it's treated more of like a deployment than like a job, you know.
Yeah. He goes out and it's just gone and leaves at the flash of an eye and then is back.
It's awesome. That gets my blood pumping. That gets my dick hard. Like that's that cool shit.
Yeah, but you'd have to run. I can't see you running.
My mile and a half is 10 minutes 30 seconds. Like I run all the time. I don't know. Okay, I don't run all the time. I run once a week, but I keep myself here.
That's what you got to do.
I have to do it for Uncle Sam. I was actually a great runner back in the day, but not like fast, just consistent.
Well, you had to be. You were a fucking soccer player. That's all soccer is fucking running.
You're damn right. I did soccer, and then in the fall I did cross country, and then in the winter I did volleyball, just to keep myself going.
Yeah.
It was fun. Sports growing up was a big integral part of who I am. It pissed my dad off to no end that I did not like playing football.
I could see that.
Because I was a bigger kid and I just didn't have I did not have the aggression for it, and I can say that now as a grown man. I still really don't. It takes a lot for me to get to that point, and it's just not who I am as a person. I don't have this urge to go and tackle a motherfucker. Like that's just not here on the daily.
I do. I like tackling people.
Yeah, well you did to me.
I know. I was there.
It's just not. That's why when you went to come tackle me,
I didn't even go hard when I did that.
No, you didn't at all. But you were coming at me, and I was just like, well, okay.
It hurts more if you fight.
It does. I learned that the hard way with the assholes I lived with. I was just like, whatever. Some people have that aggression, and I just didn't. I don't. It's not. I'm very nurturing.
It's good to have. You've got to have that aggression as a mate.
I have some. Don't get me wrong. You just got
to know how and when to unleash it, because there's some guys who have way too much, and it's just ridiculous, and they're idiots. But there's an appropriate amount, and finding it, it's different for everybody too.
I do have some, but I get it out in other ways, and then, like, I got in a lot of fights as a kid, and I learned really early on that fighting hurts. Like, just win or lose, it still sucks.
Yeah.
So there was no point in my brain to like make that happen unless I absolutely had to, and I did as a kid a lot. Junior verified it for me, like, but it really had to be worth it.
See, that was like, for me, like football and contact, that stuff never hurt. Like taking out that aggression, as long as you were aggressive and were the one that was doing the hitting, it doesn't hurt to hit somebody.
And
it hurts to get hit.
And maybe that was the lesson I didn't learn, is that it doesn't hurt to hit somebody. You know, because I was never aggressive from the drop.
It can hurt. Like, I've hurt myself doing it, but the majority of the time, as long as you were going strong and you made a good, clean tackle, it didn't hurt at all, and you got up and went on to the next play.
Nope, never learned that. I was a receiver. Whenever I got tackled, it was rough. Maybe I just wasn't set up correctly, because in soccer, I inflicted quite a bit of pain, because my coach was just like, if you're not fouling, you're not fucking trying. And I loved it. But that was different, I think.
We were out watching my niece play soccer
a
couple weeks ago. And there she's 13.
Yeah, that's right, when it starts getting rough. Women's soccer is worse than men's soccer when it comes to violence.
They were a little chippy, but there was two teams behind that were boys, and they might have been a little older, but they were going rough. And this kid, he was Hispanic, Mexican, I don't know what he was.
Brown.
But it was a whole team of Hispanics. And he took a shot. Somebody kicked one, and he took the ball right in the fucking... And just comes walking off, and it's just dripping blood.
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Like, yeah, which, it wasn't... It sucks. It happens. But the part that I found funny is his dad came over, and he had like a water bottle, and they went and kind of were standing there, and his dad's like pouring water, and he's just letting it drip. And after 5 minutes, all of a sudden I look over, he doesn't have any pressure on it. He's just standing there with his face held down. His dad pours water and just dripping blood. And I'm like, is nobody going to put fucking pressure on this nose to make it stop fucking bleeding? Like, this is basic. I'm pretty sure my fucking 7-year-old knows to put pressure on it.
Most people don't, actually.
And
You'd be surprised.
And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
You would be surprised.
You just think you're just going to stand there and it's just going to stop bleeding? I was completely dumbfounded.
The amount of medical knowledge that 90% of the population doesn't have is insane. It would piss you off.
That's just common knowledge. Like, if you don't know that, you're fucking stupid.
A lot of people don't know that. A lot. Like CPR. You know how to do CPR, right?
Ha, 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 ha. Staying alive.
I responded to calls with people in cardiac arrest. They're coding, and their siblings, parents, grandpa, whatever, is just punching their chest because that's all they've got. They know they're supposed to hit the chest as hard as they can.
No.
A lot of times. It's just, they don't know. Or people holding pressure on
You're not even supposed to do breaths anymore, right?
No breaths. Holly and I argue about that all the time, and I tell her she's wrong and dumb, but whatever. That lifeguard mentality.
Just trust the American Heart Association.
You have enough oxygen in your blood to keep you lasting for quite a while before you need breaths. Think about holding your breath. Like, you're good.
it might be a little different for a lifeguard if they're trying to clear the airway of water and getting them breathing again.
I agree with you. And I would agree with her if she said that. But she hasn't.
No.
It's not the argument she made, so let her get to that on her own.
Yeah.
And people are like terrified of when medical things happen and cardiac arrest and all this stuff. Even new medics, right? You get the new paramedics and they're just freaking out. And you got to look at them and be like, dude, medicine is so easy because no matter how they're having a cardiac arrest, we have a laminated book in the back of the ambulance that tells you this rhythm, give this drug. Everything is fucking checklisted out for you. Now, granted, if you have instincts, if you have experience and knowledge, you can kind of curate that. Maybe, okay, it's this. We shouldn't give this because it'll lower the heart rate and blood pressure because they're losing blood. Let's give this instead. You know, there's knowledge and experience that goes into it, but you will still save their life if you do the main route. 90% of the time. I've got new medics that I work with all the time, and they kind of like get in their own heads and freeze, and I'm like, chill out. It's actually a lot easier than you think it is. You just have to stop overthinking what's going on.
Do you think that slowed down how creative people are now because everything is for most people with everything?
I think so. I think it really has made us think inside of a box instead of outside of it, like we should. We're not innovating as much as we should. We're not doing things as we should anymore. I'd like to get back to that, but on the same caveat, to innovate medicine, people have to get hurt. And that's the tough part, because I wouldn't want my parents, my loved ones, to be the ones who are on the wrong side of innovation. You know, no one does.
Yeah. No.
So it's giving away that comfort.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, it doesn't even have to be at that point. I mean, yeah, you can talk about it medically wise, but I mean, how much progress is being made with open heart surgeries now? You know,
a lot, but not for good reasons.
Well, I mean, but at one point, like, there was no such thing as open heart surgery, you know, and I don't remember what the name of that movie was. There was a movie about the black guy played by, I think it was Mos Def, and his name was Vivian, and he assisted this doctor, and they did a bypass on a baby because there was this deformation of the heart where it caused like blue babies.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie, but you know, back then, I mean, and you're watching it, and it's the 1900s, and it's like we got to a certain point, and I mean, they teach, but now they're just spending so much time teaching what we've already learned.
So
how many people are having to? Is there a better way that we could do different things, but nobody's looking at it because it's just like, this is how we do it.
So yes, but there's also the whole key point for us as a society now where we innovate safely, which is good, right? We're doing things safely, but our time to progress has drastically decreased because of it. We learned a shit ton of medical stuff from the Nazis. Why? Because they experimented on live fucking people. They did horrible things to people. Great things came out of it. Millions of lives saved. You know, like, just great things. But it was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. Those people suffered a lot. So it's just like that balance of innovation versus being a monster, you know?
Yeah.
And so now we're at the point where, like, we're not going to innovate at the cost of somebody else, which is great as a society. That's amazing. However, our innovation is just taking a huge backseat because of it. And that's kind of okay.
I think it's that way with a lot of things, though.
Yes.
Unless somebody sees they can make money with it, they're not innovating anything.
Correct. Now, we do have our outliers. We have our Tony Starks, like Elon Musk and all these people with all this money that are doing things.
He's doing things, but he's doing things that are like, it's not like he's out like recreating things.
No.
Or like he's not creating anything. I mean, he's creating a different car. You know, an electric car.
But he's innovating more than most.
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of Elon Musk and what he does, but it's not like he's, you know, I don't know. But we're at time,
Yeah, we are. We've been.
so
Okay, dokie.
that's another topic for another day.
That's a great idea for a topic, actually.
So, so why don't you go ahead and wrap us out?
All right, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed this session, this heart-to-heart about innovation, medicine, and a couple other things. This has been the Sammy's and Beer podcast. We are now moved from Thursdays to Wednesdays because Matt, God forbid, is a good father. So we'll keep you updated with the schedule. We are going away from Thursdays. We are now partaking in Whiskey Wednesdays. Any final words, Matt?
Cheers.
Oh. See, now I come up with good final words, but whatever. We hope to see you guys in the next few episodes. I don't know. I never do this. Take a BLS class, for Christ's sakes. Learn how to save a life. Don't be a fucking cocksucker. Toodle!